Because the amount of lying and what these people say matters. And, this is not, yeah, Biden's a Democrat, but these two parties are the same. They lie to us equally, an equal amount. It's all endless lies told us. We are nothing but fleshy. We will not. Sorry to hit play right there. It's a weird word to hit play accidentally right after. We are nothing but a fleshy, unwashed masses to them. They do not see any need to justify their behavior to us, and therefore their justifications of their behavior are all lies, and they don't care. They don't care at all. And it is not. Here's the problem: you have groups of the left that are so eager to just go after Joe Biden that they're leaving the Republicans alone. No, it's both of them. All right, it is both groups are just corporate parties. It's a corporatocracy. We live in inverted totalitarianism, and these people see no need to actually give their true actions, their true motivations, their true beliefs. None of that. Not for a moment do they care about giving us any of that truth. And it is all. I mean, the level they go to manufacture consent, to manufacture our beliefs, to manufacture this propaganda. And of course, the mainstream media, despite the fact that I am quoting from some mainstream media articles in this segment, they're courtesans. They're there to facilitate this, to facilitate the lying that is done to us in order to prop up an empire that has killed millions. And people don't say that enough. The U.S. empire has killed millions, and I'm sorry to be repetitive. Did I mention millions? 6 million just in the global war on terror. 6 million just in that one area. And that's not including all the sanctions and economic war we have on so many other countries. Back to the point. Let's see the stumbling octogenarian again. We will not fight the Third World War in Ukraine. Putin's war against Ukraine was never be a victory. Democrats are rising to meet the moment, rallying the world on the side of peace and security. We're showing the strength and we'll never falter. But look, the idea that we're going to send in offensive equipment and have planes and tanks and trains going in with American pilots and American crews, just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III. Okay? U.S. forces are on the ground in Ukraine. That is what one of the leaks shows. And I realize this is from a mainstream media source, BBC. I'm also going to be going to the Washington Post and New York Times in this episode. And so it's not that the mainstream media doesn't cover these at all. Obviously, you can see they're covering them a little bit. But there's a big difference between one article and the nonstop pounding that they do when they really want to propagandize you. This stuff, when they cover a story like this or a story like some of the other ones I'm getting up to, they put that, they do it once, they put one article out, and then they try and shift the discussion over to this 21-year-old leaker who, how dirty he is. They switch it over to that. And they ignore this one story they put up. So why even put one story out? If they're so corrupt, if they're so terrible, if they don't want you to know about this, why put one story out? It's to make them seem legitimate. It's to legitimize them, I think, in their own heads, but also to us, so that they can say, hey, we covered it. We did a report on it. Oh, my goodness, did we? It's the Christmas wreath on the pedophile's home, all right? It's there to make you not suspect things, not realize how fucked up it is, okay? That's what these stories are. These are the mainstream media, Washington Post, New York Times, BBC, all doing this coverage so that you don't open that door and see what's behind the Christmas wreath and say, hey, this looks really fucked up in here. So as Biden is saying we will not have troops on the ground, there are Western forces on the ground. Now, they are tiny numbers compared to what we're normally involved in, but they're still there. The UK is among a number of countries with military special forces, which I hear, I've been told by people in the know, that does not mean mentally challenged forces. But I can't verify that. Okay. I'm not
I haven't been in the military, so they very well may be mentally challenged forces, but I'm told that in this case, special means something else. Special forces operating inside Ukraine, according to one of dozens of documents leaked online. According to the document, dated March 23rd, the UK has the largest contingent of special forces in Ukraine with 50, followed by fellow NATO states, Latvia and France. Who knew Latvia was getting so heavily involved? I've never trusted the Latvians. They always, I don't know what they are. Yeah, I could tell they were up to something with their kebabs. Do they actually have kebabs? I don't know. I just had to find something. France has 15 special forces there, the US 14, and the Netherlands 1. And I'm pretty sure this is, when they say special forces and they're giving the number, I think they mean literally number of people. So there's one dude from the Netherlands, which it's just really sad. Just one guy standing around being like, I think I'm outnumbered. And the U.S. has argued when these documents came out and the U.S. had to explain, why do they have boots on the ground? Why do they have special forces in Ukraine when they said they don't have special forces in Ukraine? Why do they claim it's just to protect their embassy? But the point doesn't really matter. These are, I believe these fellas wear boots and they're on the ground. So by any stretch of the imagination, they are boots on the ground. And UK has 50. And this goes exactly against everything Biden said. It goes exactly against his warnings that this would not start World War III. Because we would not have boots on the ground. The numbers of personnel may be small. The other thing that doing this, even if those special forces are not involved in anything, which as if the U.S. Special Forces has ever done anything where they're not involved in something. But even if they weren't, it increases the chance that something happens where Russia or friendly fire or whatever kills one of these guys. And all of a sudden you have U.S. Special Forces murdered by Russia. And what does that spark off? It's incredibly dangerous to have these people in the war zone while they're not part of the war. The number of personnel may be small and will doubtless fluctuate, but special forces are by their very nature highly effective. So again, not mentally challenged, I think. Their presence in Ukraine is likely to be seized upon by Moscow, which has in recent months argued that it is not just confronting Ukraine, but NATO as well. I think they've argued that since the beginning. What do you mean argued in recent months? I think everyone's known that since the beginning. So here we are with boots on the ground when Biden said there wouldn't be no boots on the ground. It's almost like Biden lied to us. Oh, it's almost like he lied to us. But that's another thing that these leaks show is the immense amount of lying done by the U.S. government, including the amount of lying about how well Ukraine's doing in this war. Many of the leaks have shown that Ukraine is not doing well, struggling to say the least. And we're supposed to believe these protestations by Biden, by the military, by the Pentagon saying, oh no, they're doing great. They're about to make a comeback. Any day now, they're going to make that comeback. It's like people said for years about Nick Nolte. I don't know, but